How we doing, guys?
What's up,
Good,
man?
man. Good. How you doing?
Not too shabby, man. It's coming off a crazy year like everybody is, and just trying excited that things are opening up, man. It feels so good that live music is coming back. I'm sure you guys know that better than anybody does, that's for sure, considering the worst thing
Yeah.
you can do is take bands away from stages, and that's pretty much what's happened for the last year and a half. So I can only
Yeah.
imagine how excited you guys are to get back out there.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Especially with our friends that we've known for so long. You know what I mean? It's one of those kinds of experiences where you know it's going to be good people. It's going to be a good run. There's going to be no drama. And I'm a fan of the band, so it's I get to listen to music that I like every night as well, which is also kind of nice, and to see them play live, see their pretty faces in person.
Now, both of you guys, even before the pandemic, were kind of working on new material and more in that stage of the process. Typically, you do new material and then all of a sudden you go right out on the road to support it. What was that like, not being able to do that this time around?
Shaun probably knows more about this than us because we haven't put anything out in a minute. But just not being out. Well, it was supposed to be our kind of re-release of our first record last year, and just not being able to go, having on one hand really, like, for the year, already having the year laid out, it really just, it sucked, man, because we already had like a tour in scope, in sight, dates not booked but already kind of set, and the ball was rolling. But at the same time, if we didn't really just push stop, we just kind of push pause. And we had, when everything kind of is going back this year, we're one of the first bands ready to go back out there because we already had one foot lifted to step forward, and so it did suck to stop last year, but I'm glad that we were at a stage where we were production wise and stuff and just ready to go, so that as soon as they open the gates, we can go.
Yeah. Exactly. So we were already in the gates waiting for them just to drop so we could, get out there. So as far as for our side, we did have the album. We had it was done in February, March. It was mastered. It was supposed to come out in May or June, and then it was July, and then it became August. So that was frustrating. But I think what's been kind of cool is having more time for people to hear the whole album and get more familiar with the singles. Because quite often when you start touring a new single, the response is a little bit flatter because they don't quite know the song as well yet. So I think that now we've had almost a year has gone by.
Yeah,
crazy. I feel like the response and the reaction to those songs will be better, but it's been really weird, man. It's been a very strange place to be in this limbo with no control over your destiny, like we were all so used to having in the past, and so you just get thrown in this waiting room, and it's like, okay, cool. So yeah, depression and all that kind of stuff was a big factor in the year,
Shaun, I remember talking to you last year. You and the band, we were all in, everybody was in different locations, and you had just dropped the record, and I think Dangerous had just dropped at the time. And it's cool now to come a year later to see how people have responded to that, because it had been a minute since they had heard anything new from the band anyway. And then, like you had just alluded to, being able to soak it in, the response to the new record, and one, it's a great record, but two, the response to the new record has been really strong and really good. So congratulations to you guys.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and whenever you put out a new one, and Brad can attest this as well, is whenever you put out new stuff, you never really know where it's going to fall. You know that you think it's great, and you know that you think the fans will like it, and you certainly enjoy playing the stuff, but it's always kind of like, okay, cool. When is the sort of curve going to flatten out, and when are you going to start becoming like you get filed in the $5 bin, right? It's like, when does that happen? And for us, it's been great. It's an upward trajectory, and fans are really into it, and people have been really excited about it. And I've been hearing from people that I haven't heard from in a long time, saying, man, they bought tickets the moment they were available. So that's exciting to know as well, is that there's such an excitement building for this. I think that it's going to be just an incredible experience, and because it's just such a historic year, it's going to be a pretty powerful experience, I think, for all of us as bands and fans, to be up on that stage again for the first time and actually be able to see each other and respond to each other. That's the thing I'm really excited about.
Brad, I was talking the other day, we were talking about the upcoming show with you guys that we're doing, and it made me, and nobody wants to date anybody, but I look back and I go, one of my first radio experiences was with Three Doors Down, back when that album came out at the first go round, when I'd first heard Kryptonite. What's it think now? Are you amazed that it's been that long since that album has been in existence and those songs have been out there?
Man, it really is. That's it's a lifetime, you know. I mean, we're doing the 20-year anniversary of it, but it's technically it's been 21 years. And that record came out in 2000. I mean, that's an adult. That's a
Right.
That's when you're standing there talking to a grown man. It's like, yeah, man, I've been listening to this kid. I've been listening to this record since I was born. You know what I'm saying? That's hard to think about, because I have been standing there like you're talking to, and it's really really cool, man, because you know, I'm the youngest of 7 kids, and so I have my oldest siblings are considerably older than me, and I grew up listening to whatever they listen to. So there's music that I don't remember not knowing certain music, you know.
Sure.
And to think about that you're that band for certain kids, it's pretty cool. You know that they've known your music their whole freaking life, you know. I don't know. It's kind of cool that you've been allowed that opportunity to be that part of somebody's life.
Yeah.
It's very cool, but do you ever look at, like, and you know, Shaun, you too, because you've got a pretty badass catalog as well. You ever look and go, man, that song is not that old, and then you look at the date and you go, damn, that song really is that old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're coming up on our 20th anniversary next year, so it's like Brad says, it's weird to think that you've been around for that long. Because when we're kids, you know, I think Brad's a little younger than me by like a year or two. But when we were kids, you know, we came to the States when I was 22, going on 23, and Dale was 22, and now we're in our 40s, and it's like, man, we can't believe that. And so much has happened. And at that time, at that point, you're just like, well, let's just have fun with this and see how long it lasts. You know, a decade from now or 5 years from now, we'll go get a real job and put on a suit and you know, go corporate for whatever we do. But you never, ever think that when you're a kid that young, that you can look 20 years in the future and say, yeah, you know what's going to happen 20 years from now? You're going to go out on this killer tour with some friends that you love and that are in a similar situation, and kind of like he said, you've been the soundtrack to some people's lives as long as they've been alive, and that's crazy. You know what I mean? It's like it's a good way to make you feel old, I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely. It's funny, I talked to my parents and they're like, at the time we thought this radio thing would be, you know, a couple of years and then you'd finally go to law school, and clearly that has not happened. But it's awesome that the cool thing is and I know, like, we have 2 teenagers that we're kind of raising right now that are 16 and 15. And it's cool when they hear the music, like bands that I've listened to forever, and the song for them takes on a completely different meaning in some cases, or the exact same meaning, because I was going through the same thing that they're going through now. And it's crazy how music does that to people.
Yeah.
It really is, man.
The other crazy thing is you start seeing our kids discover bands that we discovered at the same kind of age. Like Johnny, our drummer's kid, was into Bieber and all this pop stuff, and he hit about 13, and suddenly he watched a documentary, and I think it was the Sound City documentary, and he walked into his room, ripped down a bunch of posters, and threw up some Nirvana posters and started drumming. And now he's going to college for drumming, and he's just killer drummer, and he actually sits in on the Nixons for John. So it's like, that's the other cool thing, is to see how music, if it's good, it is timeless, and it's almost like you're supposed to find these bands at these points in your life, because that it's just important milestones that we would suck not to have, right? But
absolutely. Yeah. I think it's fantastic that live music is back. This is one of the shows this summer that I am excited to see, because it's one of those shows that people are going to go to and you know every word to every song, and then there's probably going to be a song that both of you guys play that you're going to go, oh, hell, I forgot all about this song. And it's going to be a phenomenal show. We see you guys not till August, which sucks that we have to wait so long, but very much looking forward to getting you guys back on a stage and seeing you guys live again. It is so good to have live music back. I can't stress that enough.
Thanks, man.
Amen.
Yeah.
I can't wait to, brother.
Well, I appreciate
awesome.
Appreciate you guys giving me the time, and I certainly look forward to doing this in person here in a couple of months. Best of luck to both of you with the ongoing tour and the records and the music and everything. And Brad, congratulations on 20 years of phenomenal album. And Shaun,
thank you, brother.
Congratulations on dropping one kick-ass album that we can all enjoy this year.
Thank you. We'll see you out there, man. Thank you very much.
Good, man. Thanks, guys.